This is Tony Stark, billionaire, genius, playboy, philanthropist.
Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
But as the MCU progressed, he became so much more. Tony Stark's journey took him from an arrogant weapons dealer to the ultimate hero, sacrificing everything to save the universe. Today, we're exploring how Iron Man transformed from a self-centered playboy into the savior of the MCU. When we first meet Tony Stark in Iron Man 2008, he's living the high life. Tony is a billionaire playboy who parties hard, drives fast cars, and surrounds himself with luxury. But he's not just a wealthy businessman. He's the CEO of Stark Industries, one of the world's leading weapons manufacturers. Stark Industries supplies advanced weapons to the US military and allied forces, making Tony rich beyond imagination. However, this version of Tony is reckless and self-centered. He doesn't care about the consequences of his actions or the impact his weapons have on the world. At the beginning of Iron Man, he's completely detached from the destruction his inventions cause. His playboy lifestyle and casual arrogance make him a captivating yet deeply flawed character. Tony's transformation begins when he's taken captive by a terrorist group called the 10 Rings. This experience is a turning point for him, forcing him to confront the dark side of his own legacy and sparking the journey that will ultimately change him and the MCU forever. In the first Iron Man movie, Tony is kidnapped and taken to a cave, where he's forced to build a weapon for the 10 Rings. It's in this cave that Tony has his life-changing epiphany. He meets another captive doctor, Ho Yinsen, a brilliant scientist who helps him realize the destructive impact of his weapons on innocent lives. Yinsen becomes Tony's moral guide, planting the seeds of doubt in Tony about his work. To survive, Tony builds the first Iron Man suit with Yinsen's help, creating a suit of armor that not only saves his life, but also symbolizes his new purpose. In that cave, Tony begins to understand the responsibility he has for his creations and vows to change. He doesn't just want to survive, he wants to make a difference. After escaping, Tony returns home with a new perspective. He shuts down Stark Industries' weapons division, a decision that shocks the world and his business partner, Obadiah Stane. This marks the beginning of Tony's journey from a reckless playboy to a hero with a cause. Though Tony has a new purpose, he doesn't instantly become the hero we see in Endgame. He struggles to balance his ego with his newfound responsibility. In Iron Man 2008, he starts developing the Iron Man suit with more advanced technology, refining it into a powerful weapon that he can use to protect rather than destroy. However, Tony's journey is far from smooth. His old friend and mentor, Obadiah Stane, turns out to be his enemy. Stane steals the arc reactor technology and creates his own weaponized suit, leading to a showdown between the two. In defeating Stane, Tony learns that being a hero isn't just about having a powerful suit. It's about making difficult choices and taking responsibility for those choices. At the end of the film, Tony famously declares, "I am Iron Man, choosing to be transparent about his identity." It's a bold, impulsive decision that marks him as a unique kind of superhero, one who doesn't hide behind a secret identity. But this decision will also complicate his life as he becomes a target for enemies who see Iron Man as a threat. In The Avengers 2012, Tony Stark faces a new challenge, working with others. Until now, he's been a lone hero, but Nick Fury sees potential in him and recruits him for the Avengers initiative. This is a difficult transition for Tony, who is used to doing things his own way. He clashes with Captain America, who represents a very different type of heroism rooted in selflessness and duty. Initially, Tony doesn't take the idea of being part of a team seriously. He's still impulsive and quick to argue with others, especially Steve. But when the alien threat led by Loki brings chaos to New York, Tony steps up. He puts himself in harm's way to save the city, ultimately risking his life by flying a nuclear missile into space to stop the invasion. This moment marks a huge step in his evolution as a hero, showing that he's willing to sacrifice himself for a greater cause. However, Tony's experience in the Avengers has lasting consequences. The near-death experience leaves him with a sense of vulnerability and fear. He realizes that the world is full of threats that he might not be able to face alone, setting the stage for his actions in Iron Man 3 and Age of Ultron. After the Battle of New York, Tony's life takes a darker turn. In Iron Man 3, he begins to experience severe anxiety and post-traumatic stress. The trauma from his near-death experience has left him vulnerable, and he becomes obsessed with creating new Iron Man suits to protect himself and those he loves. Tony's fear of future threats reaches a peak in Avengers, Age of Ultron, 2015. Desperate to protect the world, he creates Ultron, an artificial intelligence designed to maintain peace, but Ultron turns against him, becoming a deadly enemy who sees humanity as the ultimate threat. Tony's attempt to control and prevent chaos backfires, leading to massive destruction. The Ultron incident leaves Tony with intense guilt, as he realizes that his attempts to protect the world sometimes lead to unintended consequences. This experience shakes him to his core, reinforcing his fear that he might never be able to keep the world truly safe. It also fuels the tension between him and Steve Rogers, who doesn't share Tony's philosophy on security and control. In Captain America, Civil War, 2016, Tony's guilt over the damage caused by Ultron and the collateral damage caused by the Avengers leads him to support the Sokovia Accords, a law that would place the Avengers under government oversight. Tony believes that this level of accountability is necessary to prevent further harm. The Sokovia Accords divide the Avengers, with Tony and Steve on opposite sides. Tony's commitment to accountability shows just how far he has come from the reckless playboy he once was. He's now a leader who believes that his powers and the powers of his team should be restrained to avoid further harm. However, this decision comes at a high cost, as the conflict leads to the Avengers splitting up, weakening their ability to defend against greater threats. The divide between Tony and Steve would linger into Infinity War, where the lack of unity would prevent them from mounting a fully coordinated defense against Thanos. Tony's decision, while made out of a sense of responsibility, ultimately has tragic consequences for the Avengers. By the time Avengers Endgame 2019 arrives, Tony is older, wiser, and finally finds some peace with his family, including his daughter, Morgan. However, when the opportunity arises to bring back everyone lost to Thanos' snap, Tony is willing to risk it all once again. He joins the Avengers in a mission to retrieve the Infinity Stones and reverse Thanos' actions, despite the risk it poses to his family and himself. In the climactic battle, Tony makes the ultimate sacrifice, wielding the Infinity Stones and snapping his fingers to save the universe, fully aware that it will cost him his life. His final words, "I am Iron Man," echo his declaration from his first movie, coming full circle in the most powerful way possible. This moment solidifies Tony as the true hero of the MCU, completing his journey from a self-absorbed playboy to the savior of the universe. Tony's arc from Iron Man to Endgame showcases one of the greatest transformations in cinematic history, taking him from a man who only cared about himself to someone willing to sacrifice everything for others. Tony Stark's evolution from playboy to savior wasn't just a personal journey, it defined the entire MCU. His transformation is a testament to the power of redemption and growth, showing us that even the most flawed individuals can become heroes. Tony's journey set the tone for the MCU, providing a foundation of sacrifice, bravery, and humanity that future heroes would build upon. In the end, Tony Stark wasn't just Iron Man, he was the heart of the MCU, and his legacy lives on in every hero who fights to protect what he saved. But what do you think? Was Tony Stark truly the heart of the MCU? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite Marvel characters.